going on, Jeromes? So, of course, we are enjoying the magic carpet ride that slinging Sammy Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, is taking the team on, playing like an MVP adjacent candidate the last 4 weeks, looking like a Pro Bowler, looking like an All-Pro, and resurrecting and exorcising the demons from his career, and also is in line to get paid. But the Vikings do have an interesting quarterback dynamic. First-round pick J.J. McCarthy, highest drafted quarterback team history. Vikings trade up for in the spring. And with Darnold, like, he was seen as the bridge quarterback, but he is definitely exceeding things. He's the Golden Gate Bridge of bridge quarterbacks. And the question is, what's going to happen this offseason? Of course, Kevin O'Connell's worked great with Sam Darnold. He's going to work awesomely with J.J. McCarthy as well. And frankly, I'm good with whatever happens. If they extend Darnold, so be it. JJ sits for a while. If they turn the car over to JJ, let's go. Tag and trade Darnold, let him walk in free agency. Who knows what happens, right? Long story longer. Over at The Athletic, Mike Sando, Zach Kiefer, as well as Jeff Howe, they did a bit of a roundtable talking about various stuff and things around the league. And one of the most talked about talking points right now is what happens with the Vikings with Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold's playing like an MVP as the Bears come to Minnesota on Monday night. He's on a one-year deal with the Vikings. Do you envision him coming back with J.J. McCarthy in the fold? What kind of money could this version of Darnold command on the open market? Zach Kiefer, beat writer for the Raiders, also great in terms of sports betting. If I'm Minnesota, I'm working to keep Darnold. He's just 27, remember, and the Vikings are playing about as well as any team in the league not named the Lions. Why not give him a chance to stay, to keep chasing a championship? There's no guarantee that McCarthy becomes the guy, and rushing him into the lineup with a team that's clearly ready to compete for a Super Bowl could backfire tremendously. But Darnold won't come cheap. It wouldn't surprise me if quarterback needy teams in a draft year light on star power at the position, it's fair, are offering deals north of $35 million per season for Darnold or more. In their minds, he's a much better bet than taking a rookie in this year's class, which certainly is fair. Plus, that does increase his viability as a tag and trade option. Right. And also the whole tag and trade thing, like, it's not punitive for Darnold. Obviously, he and his agent would have input on where he's traded to, because part and parcel of part of that trade would be that he signs a long-term extension with wherever he lands. So the Vikings just aren't going to send him to Nowlands or wherever where he doesn't want to. They're not going to trade him to the Jets if he doesn't want to go there. But Rams, if Stafford retires, the Raiders make sense. The Giants, incidentally. Who knows? But so what I understand the logic of it, where, hey, you want J.J. McCarthy to play at the level that Darnold is playing at now, and you do have this opportunity, this Super Bowl window, even though the team, they're the second oldest team in the league. A lot of it is the Vikings are young at all the key positions, but there is a second-tier wave of some older veterans where, hey, the Super Bowl window is open. Do you think that Darnold can lead you to that Super Bowl, if he doesn't this year, in 2025, 2026? If you think that your chances are better with Darnold during that time, just go with it. All right. And yes, Kwesi wants to play with the monopoly money of all that cap space, since the Vikings took so much dead cap this year. You're starting quarterback on his rookie deal. It's a great competitive advantage, but things change. Right? And if Darnold has shown that specifically here he can be a top 5 quarterback, consistently Pro Bowl adjacent, maybe even all pro, you got to consider it. Right? And yes, you'd love to get J.J. McCarthy on the field, but is it a spot where, are you concerned about the knee? Is it a spot where you would love to see him as a backup type role, getting him some sparse game action and practice reps here or there, and then see what happens in 2026? Certainly a possibility. Then you got Sando. I'm not quite agreeing with the MVP premise on Darnold. Hater, who ranks 14th in EPA per pass play for an offense that ranks about the same on a per play basis. Actually, we have numbers that say otherwise. I'm not expecting the Vikings to come off their plan to ride with J.J. McCarthy in the future, unless Darnold leads a deep playoff push. Once Darnold hits the market, he would have multiple suitors and could command in the $35 million range annually. We do need to see how this season finishes up, and yeah, that is the greatest indicator of what's going to happen. Where Darnold wins the Super Bowl for the Vikings, just sign him. Give him the Trevor Lawrence deal. I simply do not care. And SpotRack estimates Darnold's value at $32.4 per year. I think given the circumstances of demand as well as the lightness of the draft class at quarterback, that certainly could rise up. And I know that people bandied about the Baker Mayfield deal quite a bit. I think that does increase because I think that Darnold has had a better season this year than Baker did in 2023. Also, you factor in inflation as well as the cap going up. So he could be looking at that, 37, 38, 39, 40 million a year range when it is all said and done. Then you got Jeff Howe. I think Darnold will get something in the middle of Kirk Cousins' 4-year, $180 million deal and the Baker Mayfield 3-year, $100 million pact. It would help his case if Sean McVay disciples Zach Robinson or Liam Cohen got head coaching jobs. Considering Darnold's success with Kevin O'Connell. Also, who's hiring Zach Robinson to be a head coach? Get the hell out of here. He's done great work with Kirk Cousins this year. Whatever. I think there's a valid argument for keeping Darnold and the team's championship aspirations intact. It wouldn't be terrific asset management to bury McCarthy for another couple of years. I also think O'Connell has done more than enough with his quarterbacks to believe that he'll be a smooth transition with McCarthy next season, which is also a fair point. But also, speaking of asset management, I don't. If they allow Darnold to leave, I just don't see him leaving in free agency, and then they hope to get a 2026 third-round compensatory pick. I do think that the tag and trade would be in play. I think you might be able to push it as high as the first-round pick in that tag and trade, which would be fantastic if the Vikings had 2 first-rounders to operate this year, since they're bereft of some of the middle-round picks as well. But obviously, it's a long way to go. And how this Viking season is the number one determiner of what's going to happen this year. But either way, I got faith because Kevin O'Connell is going to be in there. He's going to be working with whoever the hell is here with the Vikings, and it does make you feel good, doesn't it? Whether it's Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy or Daniel Jones, don't know. I just feel like Kevin O'Connell could win the Kentucky Derby with a donkey. That's how much I believe in him as a jockey, but we'll see. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. The Athletic wide-ranging opinion of what happens with the Vikings at the quarterback position. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, their thoughts. Comment section. You guys know what to do. Skol. Production value.